Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today we're going to be working with the Knafs. I sometimes call it Knafs Lander knife. This is a new design by Ben Peterson from his Knafs knife company, and it's a super practical EDC knife. We're going to just test out a little clip for one of its kind of selling points, and that is the hot swappable scales. So Ben designed this knife to be customizable in the way where you can replace the scales without having to take the full knife apart. And typically, usually if you have a knife, we'll look at one of Ben's other designs. This is the Wee Banter. Usually if you're gonna swap out the scales, you take out all the supporting scales, the pocket clip, and then you end up having to remove the pivot screw, and sometimes the stop bar and barrel spacers, and you have to remove the scales. With this design, Ben has nested liners, but essentially you just take out the 4 screws on the one side. So you got the 2 middle screws, and then the little pocket clip fill in there, and then the pocket clip, and then the pivot pin and the internal metal frame actually stay intact. So you essentially still have a pocket knife just without the scales. And so instead of worrying about the knife, the pivot pin coming out, and your knife blade falling over, or the washers falling off, or anything like that, you don't really have to worry about it. You just take off the scales, replace the screws, and then you're good to go. So, and besides all these things that I show in the video today, I'll leave links in the description below if you're interested in learning more about them, or just picking some up yourself. Some of these actually make really good gift ideas as well. So, anyways, enough of that. So I did order a second pair of scales. These are actual Knaf brand custom mades. He did also release the schematics more or less for the dimensions of these scales, and you can go on the website and actually download the schematics for it, or at least the measurements, and then 3D print your own scales if that's what you want to do, or if you have machinery that allows you to mill out custom scales. So it's an open source file, so it's really cool because it really helps anyone want to design and customize their own scales. So pretty neat. But these are the ones I ordered. They're about $20, which, if you know anything about scales, $20 for a set of scales isn't bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in real time. I might speed up the video, but I'm going to put my phone here and set it with a timer. Then I'm going to use just a simple knife tool. So this is the Worksharp Micro Knife Sharpener. Essentially, it's a little pocket knife sharpener maintenance tool. So you got a ceramic rod there and like a diamond rod here. Really cool little tool. It works great. I wouldn't use it on knives that have blades like much bigger than 3 inches. Not a lot of space to draw, but anything 3 inches or under, it actually works pretty decent. But the cool thing is it has these Torx bits in here, and you just take out your bit and put it in there, and you're ready to go. So all the Torx screws on the scale sides are T6s, other than the pivot pin, but we don't have to worry about that. And so we'll set this up, make sure we have these out. And these are a white G10. And the other thing, it gives you directions in the packaging on the steps you need to take to remove and replace. So we'll set the phone up. And there you go. And here we go. So you just got to get those in and start unscrewing. This is my first time doing it. I haven't done this at all yet. So we got one screw there, Came out pretty simple. I am planning to hopefully have a friend, 3D print me some scales to test, but you know, we'll get these out and we're gonna check out. So as you can see too, there are two different style of screw heads here. One has a much thicker top, and then the other is much more thinner. So just know that I think the actual handle scale ones are the thicker top ones, and then the pocket clip screws are much smaller, are the thinner top ones. Okay, and so you do have this pull out, but I'm going to keep the pocket clip on the same side, and just like that, the handle scale pops off. Just want to make sure I don't lose that fill in. And there we have it. And so you got this kind of skeletonized thing. You can see how the barrel spacers and everything else. And those are also T6s. Those are also T6s, so if you do plan on fully disassembling this pocket knife, you can use your T6 Torx bit. Set that there. Get these two body screws. If you are planning to disassemble handle scales and reassemble them, and you want it as a permanent fix, they recommend using blue thread lock or blue Loctite to secure those. It's a liquid, basically like a low tension glue, but it pops right off. And now you got the lock bar side on it. Pretty simple, and yeah, pretty neat. So now we have that. We just need to replace this right side screws. Any sort of more neutral handle, it might be difficult to know what side is what, but because there is an angle and a curve to the knife, you know exactly what scale goes on what side. And yeah, this is super simple. I'm not trying to speed run this in any way, and with the tool I have, it isn't the easiest thing to rotate. Oops, that wasn't good. There it is. Alright. It isn't the easiest to rotate, but it's working all right. It just goes to show you that even with this pocket tool / knife sharpener, you can get the job done in a decent time. Alright, don't want to strip that. Get that side in. Now for the other side. Make sure that pivot pin goes in. And we can lock it down. So, I said taking my time, plus I have a camera in my face. If I was doing this in a speed run, I'd probably cut it in half the time. But so far, you know, in less than 10 minutes, you could easily, and I guess I gotta take out that tail piece here. There's an unseen hazard. That's really locked in there. Careful, kids. Huh. Maybe it's glued in there. There you go. Just got to give it a little love tap. Probably slide that in. These last two screws in there. And get it closed up. Alright, there you have it. Stop the time. 6 minutes, 50 seconds. And now I got a Stormtrooper white and black pocket knife. And it's simple, solid. And like I said, with an actual like designated T6 screwdriver, you know, not having a camera in your face, you'd probably do this in under 4 minutes. Swap out scales. So depending on your mood, your outfit, your design, whatever, you could easily turn this into whatever pocket knife you want. And two, the cool thing with Ben and his company, he actually has a lot of fun with designs, and so he's been putting out some Space Kitty scales. There's like an actual Wii scale, looks like a Wii remote for the Wii Banter. So keep an eye on his website, and I'm sure he'll be putting out some limited edition scales or custom scales they can order. That might cost a little bit more, but just the plain color ones are about $20, and they come. I've seen them in black, blue, white, gray, and purple so far. I wouldn't be surprised if there's all sorts of colors to come. So, super cool knife. Definitely check it out. Like I said, my full review will be coming, and I really think this Stormtrooper look looks pretty sick right now, so I'm kind of glad I got this. And two, I may consider dyeing these scales in the future too, just to try it out, but right now it looks pretty clean, pretty sharp, pretty sick. So there you have it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're possibly thinking about this knife. And remember, I'll leave links in the description below for everything else you've seen on here. So, yep, check those out. Peace, and I'll see you outside. Bye.